Like, bro, that's so cool.
You look at that from. How do I even get to mine? I guess I have to go to the website.
Yeah, looks just like your regular.
Hey, we not lagging, and you're not connected to my Wi-Fi, so.
Yeah, looks just like your regular.
Hey, we not lagging, and you're not connected to my Wi-Fi, so. We're streaming on 2 platforms, bro, in 2026. Okay.
Love that for us.
Only thing I gotta figure out is
Why not stream on 10 platforms at the same time? Stream on MySpace.
I'll figure that out later. I'll figure that out later. You know what I need to figure out? I need to figure out how to separate this damn chat from this window. Move. Whatever, I ain't gonna worry about it. I did not want to do that. Oh, screw it.
This OBS Studio?
Yes.
Pick up that chat again. Do not make it actually contact the side. Like, you gotta have it hover. We gotta make it not look like that anymore.
When I was on this side. Well, yeah, I wanted to move it outside of this window. We'll just look at it here. Whenever we need to look at the chat, we'll just come here. Screw it. Wrong one. Alright, here we go. So, I titled the stream. Well, first of all, yeah, I done rebranded a bunch of stuff.
Rebranded?
Yeah. It was still called the Alt Sheep 5. I literally just changed everything just now for Twitch anyway. YouTube is straight.
Afro King Media?
Yes, sir. Afro King Media. I don't even know if I should just say featuring. This is just Afro Kings.
Afro Kings.
Part of the media. And we talking.
Afro Kings.
And sipping on that It's Tall coffee.
I'm already done.
That shit was good.
This is good. But this makes me hungry. And that bothers me.
Shout out to this king. He hooked me up with this is it what, Rize or
Rise?
Just Rise mushroom coffee.
Supposed to get your stomach right.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about it at work, at my job, so now I have a good excuse to try it out. But we're not here to give any coffee reviews. We are here to talk about DreamCon.
Yes.
DreamCon 2026 just passed, and we have a lot of good things to say about it. A lot of bad things to talk about. Well, not that happened. Well, yes, that happened at the con, and also a lot of thoughts that people have had post the convention. And we're gonna start off with a TikTok. I know, good place to start, all right?
I'd probably never go to DreamCon. It seems like the whole thing is just for RDC and fans of RDC World. And I don't necessarily...
Did I switch the,
Hold on, I'm looking.
What?
No.
I let it, I was like, I didn't even switch it out for it. I figure I have to create some shortcuts for that, but we're gonna work with what we got for now.
Bet.
I'd probably never go to DreamCon. It seems like the whole thing is just for RDC and fans of RDC World. And I don't necessarily dislike them. I'm not a fan of that Jamal stuff they do and painting black people in a bad light, especially since like 2/5 of them aren't even black.
Mm-hmm. My dad's a sheriff. Alright, look, that's gonna have to stop. Ain't nobody trying to do that here. But all that black getting shot by the cops, Jamal shit, that's gonna have to stop. Y'all making jokes about minorities getting shot by the police, and that shit not funny at all. I'm saying. So what y'all want?
Especially since like 2/5 of them aren't even black.
It says all core members of the group at RDC World are Black American. The founding members are Mark Phillips. What?
Affion.
That's
Af.
That's his real name?
Desmond. No, Affion is his actual name, but people just call him Af because people can't say his name. It's like me.
It's a black ass name. I never heard that before. And
Waylon, Desmond, Benjamin, John, Dylan. I mean,
and Dylan
technically everybody's black except for Dylan.
Dylan is the only one that's not African American.
He's Indian, but
yeah.
He's saying like 2/5 because Ben is half white and half black. The tall one, I guess, bro.
So we're using ratios like they did, like when they 3/5 compromised us. Are we ratioing blackness in the black community?
I guess, bro.
What the hell is going on here?
Jamal shit. That's gonna have to stop.
It's just for RD.
And like, let me not even get into that because I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's not the purpose of the video.
Yeah. So we grew up watching RDC World for sure.
Yeah.
I keep choosing the wrong camera. We grew up watching them, and
I'm trying to flex my auto jersey, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
look at this guy.
I'm trying to look good for the stream, man. I had to put something on for y'all.
And their comedy, it never went into the direction of like, let's say, Hodge Twins. Hodge Twins are for sure some Uncle Toms, if not some goddamn coons, with how they talk about the black community with, rarely, if any, sort of gray area or good faith in any good faith arguments.
Okay.
Their comedy was made to cater to the black community because we're familiar with the and even like the clip that he used, well, obviously it was a creator that was reacting to it because he used a whole clip in a skit that they made to kind of go against the point he was making, which is that they were using the black community's culture as a way to make fun of it, basically, for white people. But then the exact skit that he used was not only like it was made to be comedic, but talk about how white people will use the struggles and the plight of the black community as a source, well, of comedy. Like they were, it's literally part of the skit. And the creator who was reacting to that video of that creator talking shit about DreamCon.
Who's texting you, God, bro?
Am I famous or what? I started.
As soon as you start recording, that's when people become famous, bro. You know this already.
No, this is my work group chat. So that's the main reason why I think it's weird. Or that creator's opinion is weird because he's trying to make a point that if you just look at their history of videos, even from the very beginning, it really doesn't hold that true, to be honest. What do you think? Do you think that anything that RDC World follows the sort of frequency that I believe the Hodge Twins follow? That's my prime example of black people being like coons in 2026.
I think that there's more, I guess you could say, creators or instances where you can see more coon activity than RDC World. RDC World's more just comedic and skit-based content. I mean, don't really take anything too crazy with that. They're hella funny. They're mad funny. You know what I'm saying? But I want to kind of focus a little bit on the main premise of his video in general. Just because I've seen a lot of these topics. I've seen a little bit before the convention it was about to start. I saw a lot after the convention of just people having different, I guess you can say, views of DreamCon in general, right? Where you had people like, let's say him, he feels like DreamCon isn't what it's supposed to be advertised as. And because he feels like that, he says that he wouldn't want to go to DreamCon. He said that like it's a bunch of content creators and stuff linking up. For me personally, I've been to DreamCon maybe in 2022 or something, like a while ago.
That's when you started going?
That's my first time going, where we were in, I want to say Arlington, and we were at like the little esports arena, and it's not that big. So everything like that might have been like a corner of George R. Brown Convention Center, and that's only like one floor. Like George R. Brown is humongous, but you had a little bit more access, I guess you can say, to your favorite creators, and then it was a little bit more personal because there were still people there, but there wasn't as many people, and the space wasn't as big, so it was just, it felt a little bit different than you could say now. Now, I know that the rise of streaming and the rise of content creators has a lot of people kind of looking at, let's say, DreamCon as a ticket to farm for clips and stuff. And when you look at like your average, like I'm gonna speak for an average, because Me, I try to stay unbiased as possible, and I try to see the common ground from both sides. Where I look at, let's say, a guy like this side, if you're a normal con goer, right, and let's say that you like anime or or even a cosplayer, and we've already had our conversations. I mean, we'll probably talk a little bit about it more now that we're on camera about how it feels being in the cosplay community at random conventions, like regular ones, and then like a DreamCon. If you look like us, at least, right? Like it just feels different. Not saying that people are openly racist at regular conventions, but like there's body language. Hell, some people might just say it, and just the way that it feels as a black creator or like a black, let's say, cosplayer. It feels a lot different at blah 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 con versus DreamCon, where you see a lot more of us. But you'll have people that were kind of having that mindset, and they'll go to DreamCon, and before it was just the people that made them feel like, hey, we can. It's cool to be a nerd. Like you can be somebody that watches anime or like that type of stuff, and you were able to look up to RDC Worlds.
I heard people say that like initial DreamCon conventions had like at most like 1,000 people.
It wasn't that many people,
even that stretching.
But back then, I mean, you're kind of paying for everything out of pocket. You don't know kind of how it's not like you have connections with organizers and stuff. Like if we were to try to make a con right now, it would be very makeshift. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be at the Georgia Brown Convention our very first con unless we're just.
We'd be lucky to get maybe 50. No, we can pull 100. I think we can pull 100.
What, 100 people to show up?
Yeah.
Oh, easily we could pull 100 people to show up. I think so. Just have some free food or something.
Some tacos.
Yeah, people gonna show up that don't even care about anime. They just want the food. But regardless of that, it's like you have these guys that grew up in neighborhoods or regardless, and they were told that liking anime, especially as a black person, made you feel like if you didn't like hood stuff, you were whitewashed or whatever, and people would bully you for it. Hey, your own people, like you said, you can say the jocks or the cool kids, the cool black kids would bully the hell out of the black nerds, even though they watched the same shit anyways. But because it wasn't deemed cool, you know what I'm saying? So back then, when you went to those conventions, not only did you see obviously the people that made you feel comfortable in your own skin, the RDC Worlds, maybe the Long Beach Griffies or something like that, guys that watch anime and have uploaded and talked about anime content, Afro Senju for me. And you get to not only see them, talk to them, but you get to see other people that are just like, let's say, you. And you can show up if you like Yu-Gi-Oh and you want to walk around with a dual disc. You can show up and there's going to be somebody else with one, and then now and it just felt so cool, and it felt there's a lot of togetherness there. Whereas in more recent times, a lot of people had started, I guess you could say, looking at the con goers. More people started to show up, and you still had more people that did cosplay and actually enjoy anime show up, but you also had some other people other type of people show up. There was that one girl in one video, I don't know if you have it or whatever, when she was saying, I don't even care about anime, I'm just here for
we're going to talk about her too. As a matter of fact, before we even get to that part, before we talk about the post-analysis of the con, I want to kind of review it, and I set up some questions for us to talk about to help with that review. Okay. And first, I guess I want to talk about for why we attend cons in the first, or why I attend cons. I organize this in a way of like what I prioritize when I come to the cons, and anime, of course. We've been going to conventions since 2019?
Texas conventions probably around that, 2017,
and
2018.
A majority of the cons we've been going to since that time have all been anime related. And the only one that you might not say is maybe Comic Palooza, but I'm still showing up in anime. And anime cosplay.
As do other people as well.
Yeah, we're plenty of comic creators cosplayers that showed up to most of these anime conventions in the Houston area. But number one has to be anime related. Number two, I go there to make content. The first convention I went to was probably the only time I didn't have an idea or intention of wanting to do content creation, because it's literally the first convention. After that, and after I saw the reception we were getting, it was definitely, in my head I was like, we got to turn these eyes that we're getting into some sort of profit or organization where we could make money off of. That was the intention after the first event back in 2018. So any event I go to is going to be some sort of content creation. And then the third most important is ethnic fellowship, and that's specifically for DreamCon. DreamCon specifically is a convention that was made by black people, not necessarily for black people. And I'm pretty sure RDC World or Mark made that clear that the event is not for specifically white people, but because it was founded by that group and they are black, they had an audience that was primarily black. Those are the people that are showing up to DreamCon, and that's what gives it like the archetype of being a black convention. And we get that. We get black culture being intertwined with a bunch of anime and nerds and gaming and comics, and it makes just for a very comfortable environment because we're all under the same context. We get all the inside joke, or most of it. And yeah, what do you think?
Like, why would I attend DreamCon?
Yeah, why do you attend DreamCon? Like, do you think that the reasons why you attend DreamCon fall in that same order, or do you have any different reasons?
Well, the reasons why I would attend DreamCon now would be content first, because, well, I'm a content creator and I want that to be like my job, my profession, my career. So it would always be content first because there are other content creators that I've looked up to that maybe want to become a content creator that are usually there. I get to see other people that create content, and I get to have like a discussion with them and just kind of see. Yeah, I get to see people that are like professionals in your field. I mean, I look at it like, I mean, you can be somebody that, in other terms, let's say that you want to be really good at a video game and you're in a room with a bunch of challenger level people. You get to ask them questions. You get to, you know what I mean? You want to be at that level. So
it's like I've heard this before. Like, a lot of rich people say you surround yourself by successful people. So
yeah, you want to be successful. Surround yourself with
almost like
people.
through osmosis in a way, or something like that.
That way you can. I mean, they're already there, obviously.
Yeah.
So you can ask them. You can, apply their lessons, their teachings to your life. Better yourself. Better your content. So it would be content 100% because hopefully, trying to get a different badge next year.
Right?
Try to get that creator badge.
I'm applying for that early.
So we gotta. Well, I mean, we're already doing the right stuff,
right?
But yeah, this stuff right here. This is. So it's now, and it's really like that for any con. It's going to be content first. If I can talk or learn or get something there, I'm a little bit out of the cosplay scene. Like, I'll throw a cosplay on if I'm there with the homies and all that, but I'm not going to the convention down the street and throwing a big cosplay on. I don't care that much. Damn, it might only be content. I don't even think I have a second and third. The only reason why is because when it comes to, like, let's say anime stuff, well, most of the things that I have fun doing as far as anime go is either watching it or talking about it, like, here. Like, having stuff that's up and then I talk about it. Like, going and seeing cosplays, they're nice, but, like, I shout out Mineral Blue. I just watch Mineral Blue's videos if I want to see cosplay.
Mineral Blue and a couple other compilation creators do a good job. I want to be on that level one day. So
when it comes to anime, it's like I enjoy most of it home and discuss it with my friends. So I mean, maybe merchandise, but I haven't bought like a merchandise of something in a long time. My room's already full with a bunch of crap. I gotta tear everything down and remodel my room because I've been seeing the TikToks of people's rooms that look really cool, and I just want to
get them LEDs going through them.
I get the clusters going too as soon as I turn them on.
God damn.
But I want to say
ethnic
content.
Fellowship? Do you think being around a bunch of black people in black culture kind of aids in you enjoying these events?
Joining the events?
Enjoying.
I mean, I don't want to say yes or no. I've been around black people my entire life, so it's kind of like. It's cool to see the amount of people that I can say, I don't know if I can say grew up like me, but at least look like me and have similar interests. Because where I'm from, this stuff isn't considered cool. So a lot of people that look like me are either athletes or a rapper or in the streets doing something like that. From where I'm from, at least, right? anime wasn't really the cool stuff. So
I feel like this is like maybe only the past 5 or 6 years that it became cool for people to just like anime. People like X and Ski Mask.
well, that's because a
Meg
lot
Thee
of famous
Stallion.
people started coming out saying that they watched anime. So if you can say Megan Thee Stallion, Michael B. Jordan, X, if even some athletes, Kanye West with Akira, like if some,
well, that one's an old ass one too. Like, what the heck is wrong with the community, dude? What the
but that's what
hell?
I'm saying. If some famous peoples would have never said anything and shit, we would all still be dorks. People would look at us like we're stupid, and I would still watch it. I didn't need them to say it was cool. I already knew it was cool, but I got made fun of for it. So it's different. But yeah, I want to say content's probably it right now. The ethnic fellowship, like, I'm always down to meet new people and stuff like that, and I don't really base it off of just color. Like,
It's not a
whoever-
color thing. It's more like we've been going to Anime Matsuri and other conventions. Anime Matsuri being a really big one that happens on this side of Texas, Houston, and
it's the biggest anime convention.
yeah, even and
Well, I think DreamCon low key is now.
yes, most definitely.
But
yeah.
I just said that because DreamCon's only been in Houston for 2 years. So
yeah,
give DreamCon like 3 or 4.
and we've been going to Matsuri when they had like a shit ton of people walking through that convention.
Yeah,
hall.
I've seen
And
Matsuri
so we know
be
what
packed
it's like when it's packed
and empty.
lively and empty, right?
Yeah.
And so we know what it looks like when it looks lively, and even when it's packed like that, I don't get that same liveliness, or I don't remember feeling that same liveliness at Matsuri that I get at DreamCon. That liveliness that I experienced at Matsuri, I remember being just because we were in cool cosplays and we were taking photos of people. And people were stopping us through the hallway because we were doing a group cosplay, mixing our cosplays with Deadpool and anime. But beyond that, there weren't people dancing in several different parts of the convention hall.
that's
There
'cause-
weren't panels catering to that sort of thing either.
That's because black people are fun to be around, whether people want to act like it or not. That's why we're used as entertainment.
And I guess that's why I find, and I'm not even someone that dances. That's just one example of why I believe the con was more fun than an anime Matsuri. It's because they literally have panels that cater to that sort of thing. Whereas an anime Matsuri, they barely want to have.
Matsuri does too, but they're just not fun. They have dance workshops and dance panels. I've been to them, but they're not going to be. You're not going to be the Black Con when it comes to moving and music and dancing.
You might see you might pack out a K-pop random dancing panel at Anime Matsuri,
Yeah.
maybe if enough people show up. Shoot.
Yeah, you'll usually do pretty decent there, but it's different when it's us. I mean, we did the same. We did a random dance play, and how many people sprinted to the floor once the Black song came on?
Ever seen that many people in a random K-pop dance room anyway?
Yeah, but once the Black song came on, what happened to the dance floor? Everybody teleported to it.
Bro, someone needs to like animate that the room, like the waves when people were in footwork, bro. That room, I swear, a hole would have been put in that floor, bro. If it wasn't structured properly.
we turned the room upside down.
God damn.
We turned the room upside down. But yeah, if I want to stay on for the first question, I'm gonna say content pretty much over everything, and then I'm always down to meet people. So I mean, you could say fellowship.
So content, fellowship, and then maybe anime would be third on the list of importance.
Well, anime would be over fellowship. Probably.
I agree.
Just because it's an anime
that's
convention,
number one for me, so.
I don't even have to talk to anybody. Like, I can show up and be like, okay, well, those cosplays look cool. Oh, that poster looks nice. I might get it. Like, because I'm not just gonna go to a random place for I'm going there because it's still an anime convention at the end of the day.
So anime,
content, anime,
yeah,
and then fellowship if I have to pick through those three.
All right, so now I want us to talk about some negativity that happened post DreamCon. I'm gonna open this video real quick. So let's see, where the hell did it go?
Negativity. I hate seeing negativity when it comes around DreamCon. It's just the racist people able to point at something else. Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna react to his video. I just want to react to the moments he had. Some of it blurred and
section. He be making some decent videos.
Oh yeah, I met him. I dapped him up at the convention. Actually, he was cool. I should have took a video with him, but Yeah, I just had to let him know I appreciate what he's doing. Keep on doing it. He talks about anything. There's like no limit to what he talks about. So, yeah. Now, at the convention, so people have been essentially giving DreamCon the nickname CreamCon. And this is something that happened recently, and it's because there's been a lot of explicit sort of behavior done at this convention that is not even exclusive to DreamCon. This is something that you might damn near find at any convention.
You'll find it at any convention.
Maybe not the ones at hotels, but like...
You'll find it at any anime convention. Yes. Because to be honest, even though there are still some, comic book conventions don't really have as much as this crap as anime conventions do. Believe it or not. Because most of the people there have, I don't know, class? And I love anime way more than I like comic book. Like, this is crazy work.
What the just happened?
You know exactly what just happened. Bro, you literally had to take the time to go onto the floor and lay down.
After asking her to do it first.
And I didn't find the video, but like at the end of the day, someone was filming his face and he had like bumps and like rash on his face. Like he had hives or something on his face after all that.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
So either something was going on with that chick that did all that to him, or he was just wilding out and random chicks was just... I don't know. I don't know what he had going on at the... And not to... And it doesn't also help. Not only that this sort of stuff is trending, but you also have the way that female cosplayers were showing like their body, I guess. I mean, power to them. It's a public event space, but like when it comes to people having the stereotype that anime conventions are where promiscuous people, not just women but men too, show up, like they contribute to that energy. And like, so I remember seeing a cosplayer talking about how the men there are thirsty, and men kept on like trying to holler at her, and it's like, why are y'all so thirsty? And it's like, because there are women there willing to quench their thirst. Like, there was a video, some dude said he was having a conversation with somebody at a CVS getting Theraflu for a homie for DreamCon, and he was talking to this chick, and he looked down and she had like a bag of like 8 Plan Bs in there.
That's not surprising.
Like, so I promise you, it's not like a one-sided thing. Takes two to tango. And it's interesting because these are things that are happening in very small minority. Like, these things aren't happening in abundance. These things are happening like in the shadows at parties that you might or might not get invited to. Like, you're not gonna... I didn't see
what
shit like
exactly?
This. Shit, well, people being hoes, men and women. Like,
people being hoes in the entire lobby.
Well, dressed like him, but like, I didn't see this at all. And
now, if you're talking about physical, like, you know...
Like seeing stuff like this, like a girl
that,
sitting on a dude's face.
Probably not that. I saw some girls sitting on some guy's lap. I mean, they were probably together,
Yeah.
though, so that's different. And I saw a bunch of ass shaking, but...
Yeah. I'm talking about shit like this.
But face fucking is kind of crazy.
Yes. And then it being so damn crazy that he got a rash and bumps on his face afterwards.
That's what your ass get.
Like, and I got another video where I guess it's like common to get what the community has dubbed uppies.
A woman taller than you want her to pick you up?
Basically.
Taller and or stronger?
Okay, I think it's actually in the same video actually.
Hey, y'all are different, twin.
Oh, yeah, it's in the same video. Oh my god, y'all.
That guy was on demon time, bro. He almost got to fight with a couple of people. He just kept picking people like this right here.
put it down. You gotta 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 put it down, gang.
The lawsuit coming soon, but we gonna beat the game.
Lawsuit.
Y'all, I don't think you beat that one, gang. I don't think you beat that one.
He's saying the wrong name. Hold on.
Yeah, there he is right there.
No,
The rapper.
what you just
got in
said?
a fight with
I
her.
think you're a hoe.
Why you calling me a hoe?
Cause I just called out to you. I called him a hoe because I just called out to him.
Why you calling me a hoe, man? Don't do that,
Oh no,
gang.
I'm so sorry. No, it's not that.
I ain't hear you, bro, but I heard when you said I'm a hoe, gang. Don't do that, gang. Don't do that, gang. I'm just saying, don't do that, gang. I ain't gonna call me a hoe, gang. Like, don't do that,
No,
gang.
you're not a hoe, bro.
Yeah,
You're
but don't do
good.
that. Yeah, don't do that, gang. Yeah, don't
I
do that.
respect Kyle.
What you want, a picture of some shit? Let's do it.
Like, this is
No,
like,
he was being a head ass, bro. I've
Yeah.
seen him in a couple of videos. I don't know what, but I got something to say for that.
You can
I'm
go
just
ahead and
wait
say it.
until you are done with your part.
You can go ahead and talk right now.
Can you put the question back up? The questions that you had back up?
So really, this is just
Because
addressing.
you said negative.
This
things
is
about
just
DreamCon, right?
addressing some of the negativity that has been happening at the convention.
There's a couple of things I want to pinpoint.
Yeah.
But like I said, I wanted you to go first.
And I guess before we even start talking, I want to play this video. What the?
Oh, what video? that don't exist no more.
So it was another creator. He's more popular for giving girls uppies, but it was a video where it's literally titled "When They Ask," or when consent is involved. Essentially,
Okay.
you don't just randomly go up and pick up girls at conventions. And granted, there is a level of, oh, he's not attractive, so it's not. She's even less of wanting to be picked up, and he's more attractive, so she'll allow it to happen. Regardless of whether one's happening or the other, you should always have consent, because it'll help you if you choose to get a lawsuit attached to the situation.
It's probably not the
right?
most fun thing to happen.
But yeah, this is just some of the negativity that contributed to people calling DreamCon a CreamCon, which I don't necessarily agree to, because none of these other conventions get that same energy. I don't think we weren't calling Anime Matsuri Cream Matsuri whenever there's a chick walking around with a sign "Step on you for $5," spinning inside dudes' mouths, and
I think I don't know how true that is. The only reason why I say I don't know how true that is because I think most black people within the anime community can already understand, like, it's widely understood how it feels at being black at other conventions, so it doesn't necessarily need to be reported on. Does that make sense? And even though some people still do report it, like, even some people that might call DreamCon CreamCon can still agree that regular conventions you see crap like this, if not worse, in the hallways, like, all the time. So it's kind of like, I think that you're seeing a lot of us talk about the DreamCon stuff because it's our stuff. So
Yeah.
you're going to see black people talk about it. Them same black people aren't going to talk about Anime Matsuri because they probably don't even go anymore.
exactly.
So you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
and that's not propped up to be like I'm not saying they don't, like, they're not prejudiced against people that we know of, right? But I'm not saying, like, they say that it's for everyone, but we're talking about a convention that's supposed to be also for everybody, but it's like for us, made by us. So
Yeah.
that's why more people that look like us are going to be.
On paper, it's everybody, but we know what the intent
Exactly.
is. They literally
So
made it because
that's
Anime
why they're
Matsuri
going
wouldn't
to-
have them as yes.
Yeah, they didn't have the stones to actually, or the research people to look at RDC World and know that they weren't some random guys. But
And now they run in Houston with
if
their
RDC
convention.
World was a group of 6 Asian girls that were all half naked, then we already know how that would have ended up. Or
Yeah.
girls in general.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I say maybe, but you know how they do
they
our
might
sisters.
just give them a table to sell their nudes at. Maybe if they bring enough eyes.
I'm not gonna go down that road because that's off topic. I'm trying to stay on topic here, but I've heard some stuff from guests that were at certain conventions. Put it that way. But do any of those videos work? Because I didn't technically answer the question for negativity yet.
Well, it isn't really a question, but it's more just like we're talking about the topics that have been happening and what we think about. Like, do you think that the the nickname CreamCon is deserved based on what happened at DreamCon this weekend or last weekend?
Yes and no. I only say yes and no because I was there and I saw probably more butt cheeks than I saw anything else.
Butt cheeks and titties.
Which is
Big old
crazy.
bitties.
But you kind of see it at every con, so it's not like DreamCon is supposed to be, you know. But compared to the DreamCon that I went to before, no, it's not even close.
Actually, I know you use this.
But there's like a lot of people with money and notoriety now, so everybody has to dress half naked so they can get picked up.
Okay, so with this next video, this is another streamer creator who decided that they were gonna pop up to DreamCon and talk shit.
I don't be doing the anime shit. That shit weird. That anime shit weird. Okay, wait, what? I came to stream because hella people come and stream.
So, and I don't necessarily have a problem with
I do.
that.
I do.
Well, the second part, because like,
I have a problem
if
with
she
the whole
just
thing.
came and she's like, I came to stream and didn't call people who showed up to the con weird, I would be like, okay, because a part of the con, especially because of last year, people were spreading the opinion that this is a streamer celebrity convention because of the last year. But I feel like this year kind of changed that. But just based on how she initiated that video with that opinion, she set herself up for failure because she even tried to backtrack it in her apology. Man, fuck, bro. Man, she apologized, bro.
She only apologized because she probably got backlash for it.
She basically apologized, saying that she didn't mean it like that.
Right.
And she wasn't talking about all anime watchers. She was talking about those who watch the weird anime, where it's like she's only walking it back because she's getting damn near canceled online.
Yeah, because people are on her behind about it.
45,000 people showed up to that convention, and we can assume that more than 90% of the people that showed up were black. And she didn't think that calling tone deaf, naive. And the apology video she did kind of just transformed into what most content creators do whenever they have to apologize, where they create excuses for, like, these are adults, by the way. These aren't like kids by any means necessary. But what do you think about what she said, bro?
I think everything she said was wrong. But there are multiple places where you can stream at. So my thing is this: when I sit here and I look at, I'm not even necessarily saying just her in general, because there's other people. She's not the only one that's like that. She's just the only one that said it. But I guarantee you, she's not the only one there that probably thinks like that. There are multiple places to stream that doesn't have to be DreamCon, but you're at DreamCon because of the clout factor. Because the Kai Cenats, I'm not even saying Kai was there, but I'm saying like the guys that are big in streaming show up there. But the convention itself is an anime convention. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it was always supposed to be. Where you have content creators that are black, that look like us, that do like anime or some nerd in some sort of way show up to the conventions. That's what it's supposed to be. So when she said, I'm just here to stream because everybody else is here to stream, whoa. I'm not saying that she's lying, but there's layers to that, because people stream in multiple places. It doesn't have to be at an anime convention.
We can stop at that first layer and just be like, all right, you're free to stream, go there and stream your opinion, but you're free to get criticized for that afterwards.
Yeah, but it's like you can stream anywhere. You decided to go there because that's where the clout was.
Yep.
But so when you start off by saying like the anime, like you showed what your true feelings towards most of the people there were by saying what you said. Oh, the anime stuff is weird. The anime is this, blah, 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 blah. But like these content creators that you're following around, they also like anime. But you're going to completely ignore that because dollar signs. That's all you really care about. So it goes into the stigma that it's no longer an anime convention, it's a content creator convention, because you have a bunch of people like her that show up that can give two damns about anime, and will probably see somebody walk up or walk past and give them the stank face or whatever the hell because they're dressed as whatever character they are. But it's like you're mixing people that actually want to go to the anime convention and be around people that are like them and people that probably used to bully those guys in the same area.
I do think that some of the cosplayers out there do deserve a stank face. So.
Do deserve what?
Stank face, like the people.
Yeah, especially if they stink.
Cosplaying. What's the kid's name from Spy X Family,
Oh,
bro?
Anya.
Anya and half naked. And
no, some of you people, and I'm gonna just say in general, it could be girls or guys. It doesn't matter. If y'all are cosplaying a character that's obviously young, and y'all are doing the swimsuit version, oh, but it's aged up. Y'all are 30, and y'all are pulling up as Nezuko half naked. What are we doing?
That shit is wild.
That's... Y'all are fried, bro. Like, y'all are fried.
I got one more video for us to react to, and it kind of ties into what you just mentioned not too long ago. Bro, what the
Probably should have checked these before you started it up, Twinsky.
Bro, I literally made this today. These are...
Well, they all gone. You might as well give us a summary.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to do. It was basically another creator who made the argument that DreamCon isn't a black convention about anime. It's just a black convention. And I thought that was hella weird because, like, I'd say maybe, if I had to give it a percentage, maybe 30% of the convention was like black culture, and the rest was just like anime. Like, we literally hosted a panel, a random K-pop dance panel, and we sprinkled like random black songs in it, obviously because of the audience we had, right? And that shit was successful, right?
Yeah, it was very successful.
A convention made by black people for black people, but inclusive for everybody, right? A bunch of black people showed up. They were selling black products because they knew their audience. That's kind of one of the main, ideas about capitalism, right?
Right.
So I don't see, and they said this in a negative way, by the way. Like, obviously, my opinion is that the convention is still about anime. Like, a majority of the cosplayers you'll see there are all dressed up as anime characters. You'll go to there were panels talking about like Anime X Politics, talking about your favorite anime openings. There weren't panels talking about your favorite 90s black music or your favorite black sitcom. Like, a majority of the convention was still about anime, selling anime related products and whatever you can think of. And I think just because they sprinkled a bunch of culture around it that wasn't centered around Japan or white people doesn't make it not an anime convention.
I have a question for you. What do you think the percentage of anime and the non-anime was?
So there was also like gaming culture there too. They literally had a whole giant room dedicated to gaming. So I'd say just that by itself took away at least.
But that's in every anime convention. So you can even count that as anime if you want to.
Yeah.
Your standard anime convention has a game room somewhere.
And even then, some of those, like Xenoverse 3 was there, and that's related to an anime.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I would say at least 70% of the convention was anime.
70-30 is where you're going?
No, I'd say 70. I'd say the 15% would be like black culture, so like the music, bonnets, like just mixing anime with black people. I'd say that's 15%, and then the other 15%, I'd say 10% is like Japanese related stuff. Well, no, I can't, because anime is Japanese too. It's weird. It's weird because like I can't really separate anime from Japanese because anime comes from Japan. So it's a weird thing to say, but when we usually go to anime conventions, I'd say the base for what sort of products or music that they would sell or play is centered around Japanese culture. So if they're not playing an anime opening or song, then they would play like a Japanese pop song, for example. At most.
Let's see.
If not, they would play like some random American pop song.
Okay.
And that's like at a NA Matsuri or even the small pop-up events that we used to go to. And because that base or that audience wasn't there this time, because they knew that their audience was black people, it focused less on like Japanese culture and more on black culture.
My percentages are different than yours are.
And I'd say, I'm going to just say the last 15% is other.
I think...
Which is a mix of things.
I'm thinking 40% anime, 30% content creator culture, and other 30% is black culture. So that's the 40 and 60. The reason why I still give anime the highest percentage is because of the amount of cosplays. And if you go into the dealer's hall, like, not everything, but a majority of it has something to do with nerd culture, be it anime or comic books. You did have some people that were selling their own stuff that wasn't anime based, but just like their own passion, maybe crocheting or something, maybe trinkets. Didn't have anything to do with anime, but still there's a space for it. They're black. Obviously, there's a lot of black people around, and a lot of people are going and, you know, willingly buying stuff from black-owned businesses. So you had some people that could have been making blankets or something. Like, it didn't have to be anime-based, but a majority of the hall was anime. Obviously, you have your anime cosplays. They were everywhere, right? The reason why I gave it 40, well, let's go to the 30%. I go 30% content creators because while there were a lot of anime panels, there were damn near equal content-based panels. Damn near every panel Mel went to, one of our homies, was a content panel. It wasn't like...
The last panel we went to on Sunday was a content panel.
She went... It wasn't or was?
It was.
It was. So that was on Sunday, but Friday and Saturday she was going to straight content panels. I know because I was there with her for some of them. So there was a lot of content creators there. There was a lot of panels there. And then obviously this is the only convention where you're gonna have like a guest lounge, but they didn't have a YouTube lounge, a Twitch lounge, you know what I'm saying? They had basketball games being played, dodgeball games, all being streamed and all full of famous content creators. So there was an element of content creation that was a lot bigger than I think people understand or are trying to ignore. Obviously you have some people that showed up, didn't even give a damn about anime. They're just there because the cost or because of the amount of content that's there. I think RDC might have been, I'm not saying that they were, but they were one of the only content creators I saw that was actually dressed up in any type of cosplay anyways.
Yeah, didn't Mark came in as like Blade or something?
Yeah, Mark was Blade, and then Desmond was Darth Maul. Like they at least dressed up. Some of the other guys were probably too cool for school. They didn't care. I'm just here to get content, dumb stuff like that. And then the reason why I give black culture a lot of it is because you know when you're in an area populated by a lot of black people before you even show up. You can see it by the way people talk, how the volume of what people like, how people talk, music everywhere. Obviously when you look at the cosplays, I know that there's like, you know, your movement of try to focus on the character versus the color of the person cosplaying it, but it's different when black people cosplay it. And I'm not even saying for anything bad. I think it's different for the better. Like people using their natural hair and the, you know what I mean, the natural looks, and they have their spin on the character. We saw Majin Buu with a double cup lean, and then we saw Piccolo with that was I think that was a real chain that like you don't see that at regular conventions. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I'm saying black culture was a huge part of it. The fact that we can do a random K-pop dance play and throw a couple of black songs and the whole floor freaking shows up. The very first panel that I went to go scout out our panel room, and you guys showed up later. They put Meek Mill and Chief Keef on, and people started tweaking on the dance floor. Man, you do that at a regular convention at Anime Frontier or
People
something
are
like
gonna
that.
get
People are just
scared.
going to look at you like this. They might clutch their purse and get the hell up out of there. So that's why I went 40, 30, 30. There was such a big, and it stems from it being an anime con from the beginning. So you're going to see anime everywhere. If you take out, but the reason why I didn't give it too much is because if you took out all of the anime cosplayers, the halls would have still been filled with all the content creators that showed up. There was I saw so many people with just phones, content. You don't see if you go to a regular convention, you might see maybe a couple of people do that, but here everybody had a damn what is the little gimbal stick, whatever the hell.
For the phones.
Everybody had one.
I think there is a YouTube creator lounge where they literally, both upstairs and in the vendor hall, where they literally critique your channel and give you advice on how to run your channel and stuff. So
Upstairs,
there's definitely an aspect of content creation and streaming and YouTube videos that this convention appeals to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
for
40,
their own
30.
benefit.
I'm gonna go 40, 30, 30. That's mine.
Hell yeah, but yeah, that's our for now. That's our overall synopsis of what we think of the DreamCon.
Yeah, it was still fun.
I'm probably gonna still go every year, even if when I was doing my interview with Todd, I was like, man, if they keep upping the price of these tickets, I might have to think twice about going to this convention next year. But if I don't end up getting there as press or a creator, I'm gonna try to apply for both.
You did you got to pay for creator badges? We had to pay for the panelist ones. We got a discount, but
I don't think we pay for press or creator badges, because the idea is that you with your audience will be able to bring more people, which is more money for the convention. So
that's fair. Which is crazy because low key, you saw the audience we had at our panel. We should have been paying for that either, but we did, and that's fine.
Shit. I mean, after that, if they see JXM, they know it's gonna be fun.
But yeah, I think it was still fun regardless of that. It's unfortunate. This is like my closing statement, I guess you can say. It's kind of unfortunate that you'll have some people that went to some of the older ones that don't want to go to the new ones because they feel like they don't like that 40, 30, 30 percentage. They wish that it was more like you. To them, it's not 70% anime. Like, to them, they see all these guys doing this and all of the, and it's completely different from when they first showed up. Even if it was in an auditorium, everybody was just, it felt like a black anime convention. This is more of a black convention than a black anime convention, if that makes sense. There is still heavy anime qualities and stuff there, but there's a lot of content creator stuff. There's a lot of Negroes that pulled up that don't watch anime or care about content. They just saw a bunch of black people show up, so they showed up. You know what I mean? Our friend Kuro was saying he was in the, when he went to his car, there was just some random black people out there smoking. Was like, yo, what's going on over there at DreamCon? Like, I see a bunch of.
They opened up the balcony and there were a bunch of people smoking out there, even though it said no smoking. But I guess they're outside.
You know how it is. But
I gotta get their fix off.
I would say that you should still come and try it. Try it and see if it's something you still like. Because regardless of the content creators and a lot of other people that are there, there's still some great people there. And not every content creator is going to be a weirdo. There's going to be some really good people. I had some good conversations with some content creators I didn't even know existed, because it's just a lot of people like us kind of on the come up, and it's still really fun. It's still really fun. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be.
I'm glad, because I remember sometime last year, I think, I mentioned that you didn't want to go because it felt like it was turning into something that it wasn't initially.
Yeah.
Which, very understandable based on the opinions that people have. You were not the only one that had that opinion. But I'm glad that you still have fun.
I still had fun. And I will still definitely go again. Hopefully I can get a panel again. Hopefully get the creator badge.
And I'd say, for Michael's statement, I'd say beyond just appealing to black people, I think because again, a large portion of this event is because of the appeal of black people like in anime. I think when people in Japan, mangakas, animation studios see that there is such a large audience on a mainstream stage that like anime, that it will create a more open-mindedness when it comes to putting black people in their stories. Because they would see that, beyond just wanting to animate their stories, that there's an audience for them that would benefit their businesses. And So I think it's a win-win on both sides. We like anime. They see that we like it. They put us in their stories to help it appeal to us wanting to consume and buy their product. So I think it's overall win-win on that aspect. But beyond that, that was our review / analysis. Y'all stay hydrated. We're gonna go live again in maybe like 10 more minutes. I'm gonna organize some stuff and we gonna talk about some anime hot takes.
We gotta.
Oh no, it's
Bot.
yeah, it's someone trying to sell bots. Yeah, ignore that. Jeremy said hi on YouTube.
What's up, Jeremy?
What's good, Jeremy? We about to come back in like 10 minutes and talk about some anime related topics. We'll be back. But you know what? I like how that stream, for once, this was the first time I streamed and it did not lag.
That's good.
I wish so. I can see the chat here for Twitch, but I cannot see it